Alright, welcome back to episode 11 of Lazy Sunday Podcast. My name is Kay, I am your host here. I'm also the dyer behind Lazy Sunday Yarns over on Etsy and Lazy Sunday Yarns over on Instagram as well. All of that will be linked below, along with my Ravelry name, which I will leave just down below if you want to search it. I don't like linking to Ravelry because it has caused people some issues with the new site, and I don't want to put anyone in harm's way. So if you use it and you're happy to use it, please go find me over there as well. This is episode 11. I am still slightly amazed we are in the double digits, but here we are, powering through. I am drinking my bog standard tea today, PG Tips, the biodegradable ones, obviously, and I'm drinking that. Remove the fluff first, because there's fluff everywhere in my bunny household. I'm drinking that from my giant penguin mug that I sneakily added to my Tesco big shop this week. He's about the same size as my head, and I have discovered that he needs about 2 tea bags in there to get a real good quality cup of tea out of it. So yeah, I'll be drinking lots of tea this episode. Grab your drink, grab your knitting, and let's get started. Second time filming this episode. If you haven't seen on my Instagram already, I filmed this once before. I bought a microphone which I used last episode and seemed to work fine. I didn't get any complaints for, and tried to use it this time round and filmed an entire episode and the sound didn't work. So what I'm doing now is I'm filming on my phone, which I usually film on. I've connected the mic up to my laptop, so I'm recording the audio separately. So if all else fails, I'll at least have the phone audio to use. So hopefully this sounds okay for you regardless. Last time I filmed this episode, I didn't have any FOs for you. However, the universe decided they wanted me to share an FO. So I have one for you today. This is, because I know my mum watches this. Hello, Mum. Jane, in case you were wondering, all of you, her name is Jane, and she will definitely be on this at some point in the near future. Well, I say near future, when I can see her, she'll be on an episode. This is your Christmas present, Mum. So if you don't want to see it, don't keep watching. I'm going to put a little time code here and you can skip ahead to that point because it's your Christmas present. And if you want to see it, if you're not fussed, just keep watching. Right, if you've sorted it, hopefully you've sorted it by now if you wanted to. So, this is my only FO this week. It is the Kobuk hat. It's Kobuk hat. So, from Caitlyn Hunter, Boyland Knitworks. I'm sure you all know Caitlyn Hunter. This is a beautiful textured beanie hat. All of my family this Christmas, almost all of my family, have asked for hats this Christmas, which is nice because they're nice quick projects. For most people, I'm a slow knitter, but we won't go into that now. For my mum's present and for my stepdad's present, they are both teachers. I grew up with 2 teachers in my household, which was brilliant and I'm really grateful for. But also it meant that I got things like GCSE revision books for my birthday. And they would be really excited. And I would be like, they're revision books, give them to me any other time but my birthday. But what I quite like to do for their presents, because they encourage learning in everyone. I try to teach myself a new technique every time I make something for them, which I think eventually will start becoming more and more difficult as I run out of techniques to learn. But there is so many techniques in the knitting world, as I'm sure you all know. But this time around, I realised I have never knit a bubble. And then I saw this pattern with the like sort of zigzaggy, chevrony sort of detail to it, and the bubbles all over it. And I thought I'd teach myself how to do bubbles, and I'm really happy with it. It's a really nice size. I did the biggest size because my mum has, sometimes she straightens it, but she's got quite curly hair, so she needs a lot of room to fit her giant curls in when she's got curly hair. But I do really like it. Hasn't been blocked yet. That will come later. I'm going to have a bit of a hat blocking party, I think, because I'll have a few to do at the same time, and they all want dark colours, so it should be fine. Doing it all in the same bath together. I just really like this pattern. Ideally, I think it should have been done in a lighter colour, but that's not my mum really. She likes sort of light greys and things like that, but green is the colour I think of when I think of her. So this is, oh, I should mention, this is Cascade 220 Superwash double knit in Shire, and it is like this beautiful heathery, shirey green. It's a good name for the colour, and the wool was really lovely to work with, to the point where I've bought some more to do another project, which we will discuss later. So that's it for that. Pop that to the side, have a sip of my tea, and move on to whips. I haven't got as many whips this time around because I spent most of my time working on the hat and getting that done. What shall I do first? I did have like a day, let's get past the rustling first. I did have a day last Sunday just gone, of just entirely selfish knitting. I get a bit burnt out when I'm knitting for other people, because I think the added stress of, will they actually like this? Is it worth my time? It doesn't really stress, but it just sort of like, it's just not as fun knitting for other people as it is for knitting for yourself. I'm quite a selfish knitter usually. So I was feeling a bit burnt out and just tired generally, and as the branding would suggest, I can, if I let myself be, quite a lazy person. So I had a lazy Sunday and I watched Star Wars with my giant mug of tea and had a day of selfish knitting, and I worked a little bit on my Felix cardigan. The pattern is, again, the Felix cardigan by Amy Christoffers. There is a sweater version as well. This project was inspired by Snuggle Star yarns, because I was ready to cast Snuggly Star, which I will link below. I was ready to cast something on. I'd been eyeing up this wool at work for quite a while, and she posted her FO right at the right time, and I cast on the cardigan version of it. This is as far as I've got. I'm well into the body now. Last time you saw it, I was where this beautiful little toadstool stitch marker is, and I have done about that. That was pretty much just all on Sunday, watching movies. You can see, you can see where I've put a lifeline in there, and from that lifeline I've got about 6 inches to go before I start the ribbon, which with a nice chunky Aran weight cardie shouldn't take me too long. I'm just really enjoying it because it's a real nice simple plain knit, and that's my like bread and butter. The wool is Stylecraft. This is my work project usually, other than lockdown. anytime other than lockdown, obviously. I have like a home project that I work on and use my sort of like more luxury based yarns. And I have a work project where I use the sort of more budget things, but yarns that we sell at work. So because I hate nothing more than a customer really falling in love with the yarn that I'm using and not being able to give it to them and not being able to sell it to them. So because they're always really disappointed and I just hate it. So my work project tends to be Stylecraft or James Brett, because that's predominantly what we sell at work. This is Stylecraft Aran with wool and a nep to it. It is the grey jazz nep colourway, and it's got those beautiful multicolour neps to it. And I'm just obsessed. I cannot wait to start wearing this cardigan. It's going to be so snuggly and cosy. I did do it a size larger than I thought I would need, mainly because I wanted it to be a bit bigger, a bit cozier. So yeah, that's that. We will move on because I do like to natter about my projects sometimes, to like cut myself off mid-flow. Next up, we have my Bunnies and Toadstool bag from Amelia Joy. Why that won't stick in my head, I don't know, because I love her bags. I'm terrible with names. Yeah, so I won't go into all of the pins now. I have covered them in previous podcasts. I will link above to... I'll add in the cards the videos where this has been mentioned, so if you are interested you can go through to those videos. And in here is, if you haven't watched before, everyone else I'm sure will know because it's been here since I think the first episode of the podcast. These are my Hermione's Everyday Socks. I'm presuming you've heard of this pattern before because I think everyone and their mother has knit this pattern, but I can see why. It's a lovely pattern. It's this sort of like broken rib. Well, I don't really need to go into it because what I've just said you will probably know. I'm obsessed with this. It is a 4-row repeat. They are taking me a long time to do, but they are my, as I call them, my palette cleanser project. Last time you saw them, I was about here. I've done about little over 2 inches on them. What I tend to do is when I don't have a lot of time or I'm a bit burnt out on my knitting and I only want to do a little bit, I tend to pick it up and do a repeat of the 4 rows and then put it back and it sits there for a while. So it's not something I invest a lot of time into, but they are there when I want them, always right next to me on the sofa. So I just grab them and pick them up, do a couple of rounds and then put them away again. This is my second sock. I am about, I think I worked it out at 6 repeats away from the toe, so they aren't that far away from being finished now. And then I'll have another nice pair of socks for myself that I don't end up giving away, because that's what tends to be what happens. The yarn I am using is a mystery green, but you can find a green 4-ply pretty easily, I'm sure. That's for the toes, heels and cuffs. And the main body of the sock is in Yarn Lab UK Miss Granger, her Miss Granger colourway, and it's a lovely yarn and the speckles are gorgeous. The camera doesn't do it justice, but like in real life there's like some greys, tones, yellows, purples, blues, hints of green. It's just gorgeous. I'm very excited to wear these socks eventually. And then my next whip is being held in my Grocery Girls Sock Talk bag, which came free with a sock kit that I showed a couple episodes ago. Again, try and link it in the cards. Might even be the same episode. And this was a bit of a spur of the moment sort of cast on for me. I love to read. I love books, and I love just fiction, non-fiction, everything. I will try it. If I don't like it, I'll put it away, but I'll give it a go. For those of you that don't know, I have a master's in professional writing. It was along with my BA in textiles design, hence the love of yarn and fashion, hence the love of yarn and woolly things and fabrics and all that jazz. But my master's in professional writing really anchored home my love of the written word. However, it is something that incredibly relaxes me, like nothing else does. And I also, on top of that, have dyslexia, dyscalculia and dyspraxia. So I'm a big old mess if I let myself be. And what that usually results in is, like, I get into bed, start reading, it chills me out, and I'm slow, so I'm slow at reading, so I'll read about half a page, fall asleep, and then the next day have forgotten, read that half again, fall asleep, and the cycle continues. So usually I'm quite a fan of an audiobook, and what I usually do is listen to those audiobooks on the bus on the way into work or from work, which is about an hour and a half journey for me, so I get quite a good amount of my reading done then. It's not really reading, listening done then. But obviously, since we went back into the second lockdown, that hasn't been happening, and I've missed my books. So what I've started to do is, and it's not new to anyone, I'm not the first person to invent this, but it's new to me and I'm excited about it, so sorry. But I have been listening to my books in bed, and I have been knitting at the same time to try and keep my brain going, so I'm not just like sat in bed staring into space and freaking out Matty. Let's have a sip of tea, calm myself down a little bit. I cast on, and I'm a little bit sad because I would have cast on one of my acquisitions that you'll see later, but it came the day after I started doing this. So in bed I have cast on just a bog standard vanilla sock. I am following no pattern with this, I'm just going for it. I have used Opal 4-ply, Opal Uni 4-ply in the colourway black, just plain black, which wasn't very fun to do in my dimly lit bedroom, let me tell you. And it is my Halloween exclusive colourway that was Witch Please, it's called. Now, this isn't in the shop anymore because, again, it was a Halloween exclusive. However, I do have one of each base available in this colourway and in my I'm Hollow Inside colourway. So although it isn't on the shop, if it's something you would really like, just get in touch and I'm sure we can figure something out. But again, I won't be dyeing anymore. It is literally, I have a skein of merino, 100%, a double knit, a skein of double knit merino nylon, and a skein of 4-ply merino nylon. So if that is something that you would quite like, send me a message. On Instagram direct message is probably your best bet. So that's how they work up. It's working up. I'm obsessed with it. I'm really happy with it, and it's just a plain vanilla sock. It's going really quickly, and I think I'm not too far away from adding the heel. So that'll be. I think I'm just going to do a German short row heel, something nice and quick and easy, and I might even add a purple heel to it, but we will cross that bridge later. I'm sure you will see it next time. The book that I am listening to is the third His Dark Materials Amber Spyglass. I have been listening to them intermittently throughout the year since last year when the BBC series released, and obviously the the second season of that has been released this Christmas, and it suddenly reminded me that I haven't listened to the third book yet, so I thought I'd give that a go, and I'm really enjoying it. I never read them sort of the first time round when all my like friends read them. I don't really know why, just never got round to it basically. I didn't actually read Harry Potter until about 2 years ago either. Again, when I say read, I mean listen. So yeah, and I'm really enjoying that book too. So I guess we will move on to adding a new little segment here. It is my planned projects. Only because why not? It means I can showcase more patterns, more dyers, more designers. If I can do that, I will do that. So as I've just literally last night, cast off that hat, bound off that hat rather, I need to cast on my next Christmas gift knit. I have a feeling that I'm going to be a bit slow with my Christmas knitting, and with post being the way that it is, it might mean that people don't get them on Christmas Day, which is really sad, but we're living in COVID land. I'm sure people will understand, and I'm going to do my absolute best to get them there on time. I do my next two planned knits are the first one is, no, we'll go with this one first, is for my other brother. So last episode you will have seen the Dreaming Slow hat I knit for my younger but older brother. He's older than me, but he's the youngest of the two. Tom, he asked for a black hat and I sort of fudged it into an almost black hat, so it was a bit nicer to knit. And then this project will be for my other brother, my eldest brother, Jim. He said his coat is blue and grey. He doesn't want a blue like the cops though, were his words, not mine. So I thought I would make him a hat out of my Pancakes with Kiki colourway, and I'm using the DK Merino base for that. So it'll be nice, and which is the same base I used for Tom's hat, and it came out really nice. I'm debating adding some mohair with this to give it like a grey fuzzy to it, which I think will be really nice, but it will distract from the colours, so I'm undecided. We will see next time. And the pattern I'm leaning towards is a bit like cheesy, but like A, he'll like the pattern, B, it's got a nice little like subtle texture to it, and C, the name just like I felt like I couldn't not, because it's the St. James hat. His name is James. It's the St. James hat from Francesca Hughes. It's a lovely sort of ribbed hat. It looks like a real nice quick knit, but a nice warm but stylish hat. My only worry is that he has the Sherwood hair too, which we get from my mum. I have the same problem. Tom has the same issue as well. It's not really an issue, but our hair has a tendency to it's got a mind of its own. It does what it wants to do. We have no control over it. And Jim is very much like that. So it's not necessarily a big hat, so I might have to add on some stitches. I haven't yet to look at the pattern in depth, so we'll see what happens there. And the next project I'm thinking of casting on is the Spiritual Guardian cowl from Cat Weaver. Cat is so lovely and is becoming a very dear friend of mine. She's recently also had me on her channel, and a few other makers as well, all wonderful makers. Please, like, go check it out for them if not for me. She is a dyer, a designer, and also a podcaster. The podcaster is what I knew her from first. She's just so lovely. She's just sweet and kind, and has kind is the word. She has one of the kindest souls I've ever met. So I have bought her Spiritual Guardians cowl, and I will be casting that on for my stepdad Paul. He was pretty much the only person who didn't ask for a hat. He wants a cowl. So last year I made him a hat using Stylecraft Life charcoal, chunky, but I didn't want to use a chunky weight for a cowl because I think it would be too much here. So I've bought, in the cascade that I've made the hat in, I bought him the charcoal colourway to make the cowl for him, and it's a cabled cowl, so it will go with his hat that I made last year, which was the cabled hat, and that was the Tiilda hat, I think. I'll link that below as well. So yeah, I think that'll make a really lovely cowl for him as well. Again, I might add mohair to that, except for the fact, up until this year, he's always been a very clean shaven man, and then suddenly this year he decided he wants to grow a beard in. It looks fantastic, he looks wicked, but I don't think mohair and a beard will mix very well. I think he'll just end up with like extra beard, which might not be what he wants. So might add mohair. It would look gorgeous with mohair added to it, but might not be very practical for him. We'll see later. Again, I tend to make these decisions up like on spur of the moment. I'm sort of like a half planner. I go, we'll go that way, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that's all I have planned. I'm going to go on to acquisitions now, of which I don't have many, she says, with a little pile sat in front of her. The first one I will discuss is my new project bag from the wonderful Kim of the Embroidered Elephant. She has a podcast here as well. Again, will be linked below. And this is the bag. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's so lovely. So please go give her some love. She's a lovely girl. She's so, and again, is becoming a very dear friend of mine. And I want to send all the love her way. This is her new chocolate collection. She makes project bags. She sells some stitch markers. She's got some like crafting kits on her Etsy page. It's lovely. She's a very kind soul as well. Her chocolate collection, this was my favourite of them. It's got some like hot chocolates and gingerbreads on there. I did add my Corner of Craft small business supporter badge on there because like sisters are doing it for themselves basically. The lining of this bag is like a chocolate sprinkle, and the best bit, before I go into that, this is a beautiful little like Progress Keeper stitch marker that is attached to it and came with, is a little chocolate bar and says love chocolate on the back, which is very appropriate for me. And the best bit about this bag isn't to do with how beautiful it looks, because I mean it's already pretty great on that front, but it smells like chocolate as well. She used chocolate scented fabric to make these bags, and I'm going to do everything within my power to continue that smell. It's beautiful. It's a drawstring, and please go. I've got in this bag, I have my advent calendar project. So it holds quite a lot. It holds like a 2 skein project, probably more. No, it holds a good size 2 skein project. So I've got a few more bags done. I'm not going to go too in depth in that because it's just stripy bags, so it's fine. But yeah, they are all being held in there in my nice new bag. I'm really pleased I was able to show that off to you. My next purchase was a Christmas yarn from, you have seen her name mentioned here on the podcast before, Dotty Woolco. I have now, I think, I've got, this is my second Gobstopper ball from her. Her colours are lovely, and I'm a new convert to self-striping yarn, except for the fact that I haven't actually knit with any of my self-striping yarn, so I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 skeins / Gobstoppers of it, and I've yet to actually work with them. So I think my next sock that I cast on will be this. This is her vintage Christmas colourway, and it is on her 80/20 Blue Face Leicester and nylon base. The colours are, I discovered recently, dyeing up my own Christmas colourways, that I'm very picky about my Christmas red and Christmas green, and these are like chef's kiss perfect, and they came with a beautiful little red mini skein for toes, heels and cuffs as well. This is what I mentioned earlier when I was sad that I cast on my Halloween socks, because these came the day after I cast those on, and I would have quite liked to cast these on. Now, you're probably thinking, just cast them on and use different needles. The only problem is, and I failed to mention on that, those socks are being knit on a larger gauge than I would normally knit. I tend to knit my socks on a 2.25mm needle and use the magic loop method. Those are being knit on a 2.5mm needle because the only pair of needles I have, 2.25, are currently being used on my Hermione everyday socks. I did have a second pair of those needles, except for the fact they aren't in existence anymore because a certain little Mr. Bunny found my needles and decided that the cable on them was a chew toy, and that it just clean cut straight through them. So I now currently am knitting my socks on a larger gauge, my vanilla socks, which is fine because I sometimes like big slouchy cozy socks, so that's fine. But I have no other needles for socks, and I don't want to buy any more really, because I don't need more than 2 pairs of socks on the go at once, quite frankly. So my Christmas socks, sadly, will have to wait, but that's fine. I am not likely to. I have Christmas socks that aren't handmade. They are just like shop bought Christmas socks that I wear all year round anyway. So I'll just cast them on later and I'll wear them in the middle of the year. It's fine. I'm a lunatic when it comes to Christmas. So festive cheer all year round. You know, on the Santa Claus, I'm on a tangent now, but it's fine. I'll end it in a minute. On Santa Claus 2, when he goes on the date with the lady and she does the best thing about it being Christmas, singing in the restaurant, like, she is like ultimate level Christmas to me, and like I aspire to like wear my little Christmas charm bracelet all year round. Why the hell not? Tangent over, sorry. So my next purchase was 2 separate purchases from the same company, so I'll show them at the same time. The first of those, they're both from the corner of Craft, they're both stitch markers. I'm sure you are aware by now that I'm a big fan of her beaded stitch markers. I only really discovered them this year because I only actually made a purchase this year. I've always had my eye on them, but I've never quite got to the updates in time. But this year I have been adamant that I will make it. The first one I'm going to show you is her November. Yes, it was her November club. So it's a mystery club. So if you haven't got yours, or you haven't opened it yet for whatever reason, look away now because I'm going to show mine off. This is the stitch marker in question. I love it. Look how cute that is. I'm not going to go into too much detail in case anyone listening now instead of watching is not wanting to know, but I just think it's so cute. I'm really happy with it. And then the second one was bought in her most recent update. I couldn't resist at all. Usually I just stick to her monthly ones, but this one, he had to come live with me. And that is the little Santa. I love him so much. He's so cute. I just want him, I want to wear him all the time. I think he's fantastic. I'm almost, because she uses, they're like essentially earrings that she puts them on. And I'm almost tempted, if she brings him back again in December, I did see on her Instagram she was beading some more of him. I'm almost tempted to get another one and just wear them as earrings. But then I won't have them as stitch markers. Maybe I should get two. Maybe I should not be a lunatic, right? We'll see. Anyway, my last acquisition is not something I've purchased, but it was gifted to me from the mother, and it was from... she bought it at a National Trust, somewhere for the National Trust. I can't remember where it was that she went now. I'll have to ask her and get her and link it below or whatever. But it says St. Nicholas Souvenirs. It's handmade and ethically sourced, and it's a Christmas decoration. However, I'm going to keep it up all year round. It's a little suffragette. I love it. Look how cute she is. Votes for women. What you might not know about me is that I am, like, from the moment I heard Sister Suffragette from Mary Poppins, I was obsessed with the suffragettes. I love them. We owe them so much. And I wrote my dissertation about them on my BA, and about, because what they did was all of the banners that they used and all of the sashes that they had, no company would support the cause and make those for them. So they just used their skills, that the women's work that they were given, to make the banners. And to so all of the banners you see were hand stitched by the women who were heavily involved in the cause. We have recently found out as well, not so recently, about a year ago, we found out that my, like a distant relative, like a great-great-great-gran or whatever, probably not that many greats, but so a distant relative, was a suffragette. She has been, like, quoted at being at meetings, and that's really exciting. So, I just love it. I think she's great, and she's going to stay up all year round because we owe them so much. Again, that's the word. Yeah. Isn't she fab? Little Emmeline. And if you don't know much about the suffragettes, I know you all know who they are and what they did and blah, blah, blah. You'll know the basics. But if you don't know any details, I highly recommend just doing a bit of reading on it, because they were all badass. They were so cool. Like, Emmeline Pankhurst was the first... She was the first woman to get arrested for her cause. They were just badass. They were so cool. Yeah, I highly recommend doing some reading. So we'll move on. Otherwise, I'll go on a massive rant for ages. But I haven't already done that. Last but not least, I have some shop update news. There should be an update. There will be an update on the shop on Saturday, which is Small Business Saturday. I have 4 new colourways for the shop for you, 3 of which will be permanent fixtures. One is a additional Christmas colourway that I suddenly thought of, and I just had to include it. So I think I'll go with that one first and then get that out of the way. So the new Christmas colourway that I'm adding to the shop is based on one of my favourite Christmas movies, That Is a Wonderful Life, and it is my favourite scene in that film, Lasso the Moon. So this is Lasso the Moon. If you haven't seen the film, I'm sure you know the reference because everyone references it like in movies and TV shows and stuff. This is the colourway. It is based on the sort of original version, which is black and white, so I've used lots of greys and sort of sepia colours, and like a browny colour. I did also add, I wanted that sort of silver tone and like a navy for like a night sky. So this is Lasso the Moon. I love it. And again, this is a Christmas exclusive, so will only be available till the end of December. All my Christmas colourways are available till the 31st of December. So, because for me, Christmas lasts until January. So, in fact, no, I'm going to change that. All my Christmas colourways are available till the 12th night. So, I believe that's either the 5th or the 6th of January. So, until you take all your Christmas decorations down, basically, then the Christmas colourways will come down as well. So the next 3 colourways are, again, will continue to be held in the shop. The first of those is another Gilmore Girls colourway. I have a few in the shop already. There are some that I need to re-dye because we are out of stock. And this is a new one. It's one I've been trying to do for a while and never quite got it subtle enough or soft enough. But now I've figured it out. This is I Smell Snow. And if you are a Gilmore Girls fan, then you get the reference. If you know, you know. It is a soft blue and grey. And it's exactly what I've had in my head since before Lazy Sunday was a thing. So this is a very like near dear to my heart colourway. So that is that. I also have 2 new colourways. All of these are available across all bases, by the way. So again, that is a merino double knit, a merino nylon double knit, and a merino nylon 4-ply. So my next 2 are based on The Labyrinth, the film The Labyrinth with David Bowie, because we love David Bowie here and we love The Labyrinth. These are my 2 favourite characters in the film. This one is Ludo, sort of a reddy, burnt, sort of toasty colourway. And I said hello, but close enough. The little labyrinth worm. She'd have gone that way, she'd have led right to that castle. I love him. I think it's so great that he's like, nah, don't go that way. She should have gone that way. She never learns. And that is this beautiful blue and red. This one I was a little bit concerned about when it was drying, because the colours looked a bit darker and it looked a bit of a niche reference, I think. But my like family's football team growing up was Aston Villa in the UK, and that's like soccer, like not American football. This is Aston Villa was my family's football team, and these are basically the colours. I mean, from the picture I used as a reference, these are the colours that I wanted. So, and I'm happy, I love the colourway, but I can't not see it now I've thought of it. So if you're an Aston Villa fan, hey, I've got some yarn for you as well. There are also 3 new Christmas buttons going in the shop, and again they will be available till the 12th night. Excuse the packaging, Finley baby, the bunny, attacked the packaging a little bit. So there are some nibbles on the packaging, I might have to redo them. These are my like candy swirl buttons. We have some fairy lights to go with my fairy lights colourway. And a Christmas tartan. Sort of a red, green and black Christmas tartan button. And they will be in the shop too, also again on Saturday the 28th of November, Small Business Saturday, in the UK. I don't really have much else to say. Had a bit of a natter with you today, a bit of a ramble. Sorry about my scattiness. Hopefully I got everything in that would have been in my last, in what I filmed last time. Technical difficulties. What I was quite impressed with, what I didn't get upset. I was just like, well, that's happened now, never mind. It's one of those things you can't. Oh, I tested the mic beforehand. All of my little tests work, but not the actual video. Great, innit? Just entirely helpful. Thanks, technology. You're perfect when you work. You make our lives so much easier when you work, but not when you don't. I am going back to work next week. On the run up to Christmas, we are anticipating it being quite busy, so I am working more hours than I normally would. So this might be the last episode before Christmas. I was sort of hoping to do Vlogmas, but with being at work, I don't think that's going to happen really. What I might do is film little bits. If you are interested in this, I might just film little bits throughout the couple weeks on the lead up to Christmas, and then Christmas Eve I might put out just like a single Vlogmas vlog for you all to watch on a cosy Christmas Eve. Have a lovely Christmas. Happy holidays. Let's leave it at that. Just happy holidays, please. Keep you and your loved ones safe. Don't travel unless you really need to. I just don't want you all to be put in danger, really. Stay safe, stay healthy. Merry Christmas from my house to yours. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. At least then I know like where I'm at. And if you would like to, and you would like to be informed when I have shared a video, subscribe and hit the notification bell below. On a side note, thank you so much for 300 subscribers. I'm over that barrier now, and I'm in awe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Merry Christmas!